on the horn with us, Levy from Living Gate, talking to us from Belgium today. Levy, how are you making out today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Listen, I got sent this album. Your debut full-length album's coming out October 25th on Relapse Records called Suffer as One. Um, albums like this make me piss me off because there's so much talent. I mean, just musical talent on here. It makes me feel I play some guitar. It feels like I want to throw the guitar away. It's just it's insane, man. You guys know your shit, and I this album is just amazing to me.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't throw away your guitar, though. I mean, yeah,
I'm going to keep trying, but come on, man.
yeah. Just keep going. Keep going.
All four of you guys are veterans of the metal scene. How did you guys come together to form Living Eight?
Well, the idea kind of started with me and Leonard, the other guitarist. We've always were, fantasizing about doing a death metal kind of project. And then it was easy to decide to ask Wim to join us on drums, which he was very excited about. Um, but it's only when like I toured with Wiegeduld, my other band, we toured with Job through Europe for about a month, and I don't know, just hanging out with Aaron and nerding out about death metal and all these records. We got to know him. There was a bit of a spark, and then later on, me and Leonard toured with Yob as well in the States with Amon, and so he got to know him as well. And I don't know, it seemed like a crazy idea at the time to ask Aaron to join us since he's so far away from the rest of us, but
Right.
we did, and he was super excited, and I had some songs ready, and we recorded them like right before COVID happened, and then we released them, and yeah, that's how the ball got rolling. It got stopped pretty soon because COVID happened and couldn't really. When the record came out, we couldn't go on tour and everything, but we're
Yeah.
happy to have like this reboot, rechance like of starting over with this record.
Yeah, I mean, COVID interrupted so many things, obviously on a global scale, but just talking about the music industry, so many bands were, had plans or about to release or about to go on tour and just put the kibosh on it. So it's got to be even more exciting to finally get this album out in the hands of people.
Yeah, definitely. It's also like the first thing we released was an EP, which was kind of like, tipping our toes in the water, but it's great to have like an actual full-blown record out, and yeah, we can't wait to play these songs live. And Aaron's coming over in a couple of weeks, and we're starting our European tour in support of the record, and we can't wait.
I get when I first listen to it, I get vibes from like Cannibal Corpse or Death or something like that. Is that the bands that kind of influenced you and the sound for Living Gate?
Yeah, we mainly drew influence from like the pioneer kind of bands that started the whole death metal genre. We didn't, take too much influence from like the new school kind of because that's also out of our technical range. The genre has evolved into something so so technical and so fast, and we wanted to stick with like the originals kind of like you said, Cannibal Corpse, Suffocation, Morbid Angel, like all these big names were on the top of our list, and the things we were drawing influence from for sure.
I always gravitate to the guitar first because, like I said, I do play some guitar and the riffs are insane. I mean, just riff after riff of that dark, that crunchiness sound. It's just, it is truly a death metal album. And the vocals, I mean, some of the growls, I don't know how a human body can even make them noises, man. It's just, it's just crazy. Every once in a while, when you get a solid death metal album, there's nothing better. I mean, you put that on, you put it on as loud as a car stereo will go, and you just hit the road and go to town.
Yeah, it's something else. It's like it's I mean, metal, the whole metal subculture is great, and it's a great safe haven for outcasts and stuff like that. That's kind of how I got into it, and I think most of us got into it because they couldn't find it, any other scene to call home or that they felt at home in. But death metal is definitely like the most extreme, uh, brutal, aggressive like subgenre of the whole scene to me as well. Yeah.
One of the things as a kid growing up, I found hard was my friends were into, I mean, I was a teenager in the 80s, so, the hair bands and
Hmm.
Van Halen and, excellent tunes. But when I was listening to death metal, there wasn't anybody who could enjoy it on a level that I could, and that was hard for me because I was like a cast out listening to, you want to go see a death metal show? Nah, I'd rather wait for Dokken to come through or, Van Halen or Quiet Riot or whatever. So that's where I fell. It was like, I was like on this island on my by myself listening to death metal.
Yeah, and people will just do it anyway. If the connection is there, like you'll stick with it, and even if everybody else is like, ah, that's just horrible noise, and it's not even music. Like if the connection's there, you're gonna water that seed.
Of course, man, of course. I want to get into some of the songs off the album. Hunting Maggots is the first single off the album, and the song has those technical aspects, but it still has like a heavy chord progression. And the vocals are savage, man. That's a excellent song to I think get out to the public first.
Yeah, it's one of the more varied songs maybe on the album. I mean, I think the album throughout is pretty varied. Like we didn't want to write 10 songs that sounded exactly the same. Like we tried to yeah, put different stuff in there and feel out different vibes and everything, different rhythmic patterns and different ways of playing riffs and everything. But I think yeah, on Hunting Maggots, there's fast-paced stuff. There's some, more of the slower, like the ogre running through the forest kind of vibes as well in there.
Yeah.
There's solo in there. It's technical at points. It's less technical at other points in the song. So yeah, we really felt like that's. I'm also very happy with like the songwriting on that on that song. It just yeah, everything ties in together pretty well, I think, and it's a good face for the album, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I had talked about wanting to throw my guitar away after listening to the band. The song I think that really got me was "To Cut Off the Head of the Snake." The guitars, it sounds like there's four or five different guitars in there. I mean, there's just so much. I had to listen to it three or four times over just to get every little aspect of what's going on, man.
Mhm.
It just, and the riffs, there's that one evil bend in there. It's just, oh my God, it crushes, dude.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That song is a doozy, so to say.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one of the, especially like structural. We fucked with it pretty hard. Like there's so many things reoccurring, but it's never the same. Like there's always little adjustments that we made in every repetition, and every time a part in the song comes back, it's cut up or it's extended or it's so like the full last part where we go into this chunky kind of breakdown riff, like all the things that it's made out of are like tiny little aspects of riffs that have gone by in the song, and it's man, I've been trying to like get ready for the tour, and it's wrecking my brain even, so like
That's what I was
it's
going to
yeah.
say, man. I mean, how long does it take for the band to practice a song like that if you're going to play it live out, out on tour? It's got to, I mean, playing it in the studio, I know that, most bands don't play the whole thing through. You do little clips of here and paste it together.
Mhm.
but to be able to perform it live, I mean, is that going to be in the upcoming set? And if so, how long does it take to nail that shit for practicing, man?
Well, it's definitely going to be in the set since it's one of the songs. I think our set is mainly going to be like songs from the record.
Cool.
Maybe we'll throw a couple in there from the EP, but mostly it's going to be from the record. And well, honestly, we got 4 days. Like Aaron lands, I think, yeah, 4 or 5 days before the tour kicks off. So,
Yeah,
but we're all gonna do like we're all gonna do our homework. You know, I'm getting slow. I'm getting ready to like I'm pre-practicing at home and going through the riffs and trying to figure stuff out again that I did in the studio and I never wrote down. So we gotta relearn them a bit because once the record's done we all went back to other projects, so we haven't been playing these songs ever since they got recorded.
oh wow.
So yeah, it's I was amazed by the speed of it all, to be honest. I picked up my guitar first time like a week ago to get ready for the tour, and I was like, damn, this is fast. Like I'm not in this kind of shape, but it'll come back. Like I'm just gonna rely on muscle memory and
Sure. I mean, Aaron has such a deep tone in the bass on the album, and that instrumental is called "Massive Depletion" in E flat minor. It's haunting, man. It's just it really kind of sets its own scene with that little
Mhm.
instrumental. It's I dig it a lot.
Yeah, it's great. He's such a talented like bass player and talented musician overall. I'm so happy to work with him. It's like he brought so much depth into the album with his bass lines and I played bass in bands before, but I never considered myself a bass player because I can't my brain doesn't function the way his does. You have to have a special kind of brain to be a bass player, I think, or like a it's and he walks away from the guitar parts so much and goes into these harmonies and these it's great. Yeah, I love it so much.
One of the songs that I really dig from a lyrical standpoint is "Ones and Zeros."
All
Because
right.
it kind of talks about AI and about robots eventually going to take over our existence, and yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. It's a concept that that could come true. I mean, how
It's kind of
we're so dependent on computers right now.
yeah, it's got kind of a Terminator vibe to it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I just lyrically like most of the lyrics they kind of I just wrote down like stuff that I see around me and that I didn't really want to form too much of an opinion on the record because I don't want to get, preachy or political or anything like that.
sure.
But I also didn't want to, write about cutting people's arms off because Cannibal Corpse does it and so many other bands and they do it so much better than I ever could. So yeah, the ones and zeros is yeah, AI is computers. It's scary, like how fast technology maybe it's because I'm getting older or something, but it's just yeah, it's just scary.
Yeah, and
Kind of.
without it you're doomed. So it's like we're like I said, we're so dependent on it. That's the crazy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like if you take away the internet tomorrow and the world goes fucking
Yeah.
like who knows? I mean, yeah,
Yep.
it's crazy.
When I was younger, I didn't have a cell phone until shoot, I was, well past, being a teenager. So, and I got by. People before us got
Yeah.
by, but take it away now, and the hell we do.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. That's also like scaring me like a little bit. Like kids grow up with like technology is so intertwined with their lives. It's like I don't know. It's and then you got the social medias and shit. It's like picking away at their self-image and
Hmm.
everything. And
Hmm.
it's I don't know. Like it was hard enough growing up in the 90s and 2000s. Watching just seeing stuff on TV, but like actually having it in your face on that level so intensely, and then even watching images that aren't even fucking real, that are just computer generated, and but your brain is assuming like, ah, this is how I should look, or this is how I should behave, or this is what I should do with my life. It's yeah, it's gotta fuck with, it's fucking with a whole generation, I
And I
think.
mean,
And
one of the things is I don't think people have patience anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because
oh
you
no.
can get anything right away. Like we used to mail letters. Like and now you just send a text message, and if you don't get a response back in 2.5 seconds, what's wrong? I
Yeah,
think that's
exactly.
what the people growing up now, like the little ones that are growing up, they don't have patience anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of self-entitlement, and yeah, there's no, and also like, there's a lot of beautiful and cool stuff about technology, like having basically like the whole library of music that was ever recorded at your fingertips. But at the same time, it's like, where do you start? And it's too much information like to dig through, and so things like Spotify, it's like a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's yeah,
I
it's
mean,
difficult.
I'm in Philadelphia. I'm talking to a dude in Belgium right now about this album. Like that would not have happened many years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
So
exactly. In
yeah.
a video quality that was even unattainable in the
Oh,
90s.
hell yeah.
Like even
It's
for
like you're right
cinema,
next to me and you're across the world. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, definitely.
The European tour starts off October 26th. Any plans to hit the States maybe next year?
We talked about it yesterday, and well, we talked about the fact that we have to talk about when everybody's here and we're doing the tour, and we gotta, because we all have a lot of bands, and bands that kind of demand attention as well, which we can't just set aside. So there's a lot of different agendas we have to kind of consider. Yeah, but we definitely wanna hit the States, and I would love to do another European run as well. Have like a good tour package and everything. Like I really hope, and I really don't think that this is gonna be the only live tour supporting this album.
Good. That's good to know. Well, people can follow you guys on Facebook at Living Gate 666 to keep in touch of what's going on. And listen, Levy, I appreciate your time today, and I wish you much success on the album that comes out, man.
Thank you, thank you. I had a great chat. It was nice chatting with you.
Right on, bro. Take care of yourself, and hopefully we'll see you in Philly at some point.
All right, hopefully, fingers crossed.